Hayes Block says, "Hey, why do we need a NOAA weather radio if there is a NOAA app?" Um, well, the app works off of internet, and the internet goes off when there's a tornado a lot of times. Um, and power, right? So like the NOAA weather radio can run off of batteries, and it can run independently from the internet. It uses a radio signal from a transmitter at your local National Weather Service office, and it works 99% of the time, even if the power's out and the cell service is down. Go ahead, Elijah.
Hey Ryan, so News 9 actually just posted something a moment ago because they flew over some of the damage that happened in yeah, Moodle, or I can't say the town exactly, or Oklahoma. The tornado actually threw some hay bales, and that's a pretty rare. It's not an official damage point on the EF scale, but it's a pretty rare thing to see. Tornadoes typically don't hit hay bale in farm areas, but when they do, it's typically a medium range other related damage point because those hay bales are pretty heavy. So the tornado to throw five of them, and it threw a pretty good distance as well. So just a kind of odd, rare fact there.
Awesome. Thank you, Elijah. Super interesting. Um, yeah, and also quite telling of how some of these storms were tonight. I do want everybody to to know that like we're not done yet. The Oklahoma City area specifically has probably dodged a bullet. We still got ongoing severe weather, but also there's a lot of people who have experienced damage tonight. There's lots of damaging wind reports and huge hail, and obviously we had a bunch of tornadoes today. I've seen some people in the chat, maybe allude to the fact that this was um, uh, a quote unquote bust, and I just don't see it again with this one. We've had a couple of streams this year where that word definitely fit the bill after the stream was done. But today I don't see that. This is a widely impactful severe weather outbreak. Lots of people have been impacted. The forecast is really good. Got the warning out ahead of time and hopefully helped some people. But specifically around the Oklahoma City area, that's the one area where, like, thank goodness, the storms were supposed to hit, but they didn't. So, yeah, there's been quite a few tornadoes today. What's the outlook for Emporia, Kansas? You're still kind of in the path of some stronger storms. Maybe later tonight, you're in that moderate risk of severe weather. I would say that you definitely need to be weather aware tonight, at least through probably around the next 3 hours or so. Dylan says, "How can I send videos into Ryan?" The best way to do it's on Twitter. My handle is at Ryan Hall, y'all. Second best way to do it is through email pics at ryanhallyall.com. Also, you can try Facebook and Instagram, Ryan Hall Y'all on those platforms as well, but those inboxes are a little bit harder to sift through. Um, go ahead, Elijah.
Hey, Ryan. I saw several people in chat kind of asking about the hay bales specifically because I just mentioned them. So the typical weight is somewhere between 800 pounds to 1,500 pounds for the hay bales, and they were thrown. So those are kind of like small to medium sized cars that it threw, equivalent in terms of weight. And there were five of them that were thrown, probably ballparking maybe 100 feet for like the farthest one. So not super far, but that's still like an incredible feat for a tornado to do in a rural area.
Absolutely. That fun fact. I did not know that hay bales weighed that much. I guess I kind of assumed that they would maybe be heavy, but you don't think of up to 1,500 pounds when you think of a hay bale. So that's that's interesting, and they've been thrown away or thrown around today by our storms. And thankfully, though, I think that the vast majority of the rest of the night, the tornado threat is slowly going to kind of not diminish but decrease. But the damaging wind threat is still kind of a big deal, especially with these storms up here that are kind of getting going near southern Nebraska down into Kansas. We just got a new tornado warning in Oklahoma. So let's go look at that.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Interesting. Right on the back end of our kind of string of leftover convection that's kind of spearing into northeast Oklahoma up towards southeast Kansas. We do have a little bit of rotation with the storm near Billings, moving over towards Red Rock and Marland, and that is prompting a tornado warning now from the National Weather Service. Radar indicated, not very convincing, if you ask me. However, it is certainly still a storm that we have to watch and take shelter for if we're in Red Rock and Marland. And I do want to make sure everybody understands that we're going to see a lot more of these tonight. We're going to see a lot of tornado warnings. It's just part of it. You know what I mean? Once the apex or the biggest part of the threat is over, it's still going to continue. Like, we're still going to see, especially a lot of radar indicated tornado warnings throughout the night. We might even see, significant tornadoes throughout the rest of the night. That's why we have that outlook that lasts through midnight or past midnight for significant tornadoes. So we do have a tornado warning. So we are gonna stick here with you through the duration of that, and we're gonna keep going at the. I can't talk. I'm already getting to the point where I can't talk. At the very least, we're gonna keep going here for another 30 minutes. All right. We could go even much longer than that, but let's just assume that if this tornado warning is allowed to expire, once it is allowed to expire, if there's nothing else pertinent that's like immediately interesting and like that we need to continue to track, we'll probably call it right then, and then go ahead and start getting ready for tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow, but right now we're live for the duration of this tornado warning, as we continue to try to keep you updated. And I'm still watching chat, by the way. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to relay them. Chris says, I drove my show car to work today and currently have it parked at the shop, and I'm going to go home. It looks like the Hellcore died on Radar Omega. Well, good luck, man. I don't know. You didn't include a location, so I don't know exactly where you are. But I'm sorry you have to deal with that. Chloe says, will you be live tomorrow as well? Yes. Jennifer, thank you for that. Susanna says, I bought the biggest mountain. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. East Kentucky tomorrow, just some wind. Especially around 5, 6 o'clock. I think we're going to get some wind here, some strong winds. Kurt Savage, thank you. Michael Wilbur says, why do you guys go off the air every single time that comes close to Kansas City? We don't, man. I know it feels that way, but like the fact of the matter is the threat isn't going to be as intense or as potentially life-threatening once it gets there. Now, that's not to diminish the severity of the situation or, like obviously we care about the people of Kansas City and the storms very well could be strong by the time they get there. But I'm one person. We are one team here. We can't be live 24/7. We have to pick and choose when we go live, and we've picked and chose when the life-threatening tornado outbreak was supposed to happen, and that's not the case whenever it gets to Kansas City. So I'm sorry. I hate having to say this every time we go live, but it is true. Like it's a good thing. It is a good thing when we don't talk about your town. It is a good thing. Go ask somebody who their town name has come out of my mouth a lot. Somebody from Mayfield, Kentucky. Go ask somebody from Rolling Fork. Go ask somebody from Greenfield, Iowa. It's that's not a good thing. Considerable severe thunderstorm warning, golf ball size hail, 60 mile per hour winds for Fairfax and Ralston. This storm back here, continues to look interesting. It looks like it's trying to get its act together even more as it rears up, as it comes towards Red Rock. Make sure you're taking shelter in Red Rock. This might be a tornado producer trying to come together here. Low End University, thank you for that. Keith, thanks. Right now, specifically in Kansas City, there's absolutely nothing going on. It'll be a couple of hours before any storms. Well, it might be several hours before any storms get there. Enhanced risk of severe weather tonight, mostly a wind and hail problem for you guys. Bash says, I've shot 7 Indy 500s with media credentials, so I'm very familiar with the grounds. I'm sending you some details for tomorrow's stream via the Pix email. Awesome. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. We're definitely going to be able to, we're going to use that.
Hey Ryan, do you copy?
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
I'm currently headed up towards that tornado warning storm now. I'll let you know if I see anything.
So Nick's on it. Nick's going to try to give us a view of the tornado, if there is a tornado. Mike Carson says, how long will you be streaming tonight? We're going to be going at least until this tornado warning is allowed to expire right here. That's getting ready to come through, the storm that's getting ready to come through Red Rock. And, you know, I don't know, honestly. We're just, it seems like things are calming down. Storms are going to continue throughout the night. But at some point, we do want to end the stream, so we can go ahead and prepare for tomorrow. Likely a more significant severe weather threat is going to spark back up tomorrow afternoon. So we certainly don't want to be, you know, streaming tonight till 5 a.m. and then not be, you know, ready for that tomorrow, you know, shortly after. Yeah, I was just looking at that. Somebody in chat was like, go look at that storm near Winfield, Kansas, and that's what I was doing. It looks like it's doing a similar thing as the one in our as the one in Oklahoma. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a tornado warning issued with this at some point. But right now,